Today, we're answering the question, can you beat Fallout New Vegas with only the Silence 22 pistol? I can only damage enemies with the Silence 22 pistol. Companions are not allowed to damage enemies for me. I can't use any other armor other than Kimball's suit. If armor has damage threshold, I can't get hit while wearing it. If armor gives me a skill bonus, I can't use the skill while wearing it. You get the idea. I must become idolized by the followers of the Apocalypse before the end of the run. I must get the reinforced spine perk from Old World Blues, and I must enter the strip with a fake passport. Got all that? Good. Now let's begin. After Benny solidifies his place on my hit list... Wait a second, that's the wrong game. Thanks, Doc. Have a kissy. For my special stats, I go with 1 strength, 6 perception for the better criticals perk, 6 endurance since I can't wear armor, 3 charisma, 8 intelligence, 7 agility for extra sneak skill, and 9 luck due to the Silence 22's high critical chance and damage. I then attempt to pick fitting answers for the Doc's quiz, and surprisingly he got 2 of my tag skills correct, but I have to change science for sneak. For my traits, I pick built to destroy and hot-blooded. Taking off my yee-ass jumpsuit, I use the powers of Chim to give myself Kimball's suit instead. It has no armor, increases speech by 5, and doesn't count as an NCR disguise. Waltzing into Chet's store, I buy my gun from him as well as some healing items and ammo, trading my DLC items in return. 22 LR rounds are slightly rare early game, so I'll have to use them wisely. I immediately contradict that statement by plinking some bottles for Sunny Smile's sick amusement, and after overhearing Joe Cobb talking about burning down the town, put them to actual use, turning his brain into an omelet. Don't worry, I made sure he went out with a drink. After fixing Trudy's radio and finding Ringo, I used the magazine and lockpick Sunny gave me to get a stealth boy from a safe, and then nab a weapon repair kit from Victor's shack. I can use my sneak skill to impress Trudy, Easy Pete goes as you'd expect, Chet comes dangerously close to the level of capitalistic greed I tend to solve with a bullet. I grab the butts and globe from the boneyard, get more free medical care from the doc, and sneakily gun down the powdergangers as they're distracted fighting the townies. For my first level up, as I often do, I spread my skill points evenly so they're all multiples of 5. I pick Lady Killer as my first perk, sell all the powdergangers' things to Chet, loot this cabinet which I didn't know existed until now, and take out some more criminal scum. Speaking of which, my next stop is Primm, where, with 9 bullets to spare, I barely take out some convicts so I can slip into the Vicky and Vance casino and grab some 22 ammo and a pistol near this casino table. Thanks, Fallout Wiki. With at least a cereal box's worth of bullets now, I sneakily, somewhat sneakily, cut a path through the Bison Steve to Deputy Beagle, buy some more 22 ammo from Nash, and make my way to the prison to restore law and order to Primm. Despite being hated by them, the powdergangers don't attack me, so helping Myers is just a matter of paying a bribe to get in.
Short version is that sometimes justice is a little slow, and I help speed it up one too many times.
Making sure he doesn't die to some random convicts, and heading towards the Mojave Outpost to get him a pardon. Nah, we're going to the Divide, bitches. Why, you may ask? Well, in the first few rooms, you can find quite a bit of loot, including an arc welder that sells for at least 900 caps and a Nuka-Cola quartz, and since there's no enemies, there's really no reason not to come here at the start of every playthrough. I then let some ferals distract some vipers so I can slip past to the outpost for real this time, where I level up, increasing guns, sneak, and barter. After a bit more bribery, I can get Myers his pardon, ensuring Primm has someone to keep things in check. I then employ the art of subtle foreshadowing on Oliver.
What lottery? The lottery! That's what lottery! Are you stupid? Only lottery that matters! Oh my god! Smell that air! Bye.
And level up as a smile from the universe for killing him, increasing sneak and speech and getting the cannibal perk so I can, quite literally, eat the rich. Ignoring the femboy, I sneak past some raiders, pickpocket Manny to find out where to go next, and head to Repcon for the stealth boy. The ghouls here are quite squishy, so low caliber rounds take care of them without a problem. I end up getting lucky and finding 2 stealth boys here, not to mention all the other ammo, weapons, and medicine on the way to the test site. This does use up almost all my ammo, however, so I have to stop by Nash and Chet to buy more, as well as the prison, as after nabbing Eddie's key, I can get into a locked room with some more 22 rounds. After discovering the El Dorito substation to make my life easier later on, I plink away at Kowalski's memorial because, let's be honest, it's tradition. Meeting the Great Khans levels me up, where I dump all my points into speech and then use a Meeting People magazine to convince them to let their hostages go. I also steal their chems, most importantly Turbo and Psycho, since they may be handy later on. I then level up back to back, getting speech to 40, lockpick to 25, and the educated perk. Stopping by McDonald's, the Grub and Gulp, I get myself a double Brahmin burger to eat while the NCR Radio Ranger and Victor try to chase me down. I then take an unnecessarily dangerous route to Camp McCarran, where there's some 22 ammo in a tent ripe for the picking. A shit ton more 22 ammo and a pistol can be bought from the gun runners, negating my ammo problems for the time being. I didn't mention him on my hit list since he's not rich by any means, but Dixon is one of the targets for the crime of poisoning Freeside's locals with deliberately lower quality and more addictive chems. His death is just as flimsy and pathetic as his life. I passed the hardest speech check in the game.
Why? Do you work for one of the casinos?
No. To get some more rounds from Ralph, and then meet the followers of the Apocalypse, who are basically humanitarian anarchists that believe in free medical care and education for all. So basically, right up my alley. I do take her snow globe though, but shh. I also meet the Kings, who are another faction looking out for Freeside, except they're in more of the logistics and keeping the scum off the streets business. One can't really work without the other, so I get to work helping them out right away. While walking through Freeside with my bodyguard Oris, we get attacked by thugs and so I help defend him. And then he kills me. Yeah, the whole act kinda falls apart if someone can walk even slightly faster than him. Next try, I let him go through the motions, use my intellect to deduce he's a fraud, and find out what happens to people trying to illegally enter the strip. I'm gonna need a way through that. That can wait though, as right now I've got to— Jesus, where did you come from? As right now, I have to check on some of the King's wounded buddies with a guy that sounds at least 30 years younger than he looks.
Oh, that's different then. How can I help? I'll do anything to get the bastards that did this.
While doing this quest, I got curious and wanted to see what would happen if I woke up their supposedly unconscious friend. After shoving hundreds of bullets up his ass, he gets up, says,
"What do you need?"
And the followers proceed to violate the Hippocratic Oath. Next task on my list is to answer a BuzzFeed quiz, pass a speech check making the quiz completely redundant, get info about an NCR envoy that was beaten to hell, tell the king about it, and now have to stop Pacer from being summarily executed despite the fact he was just here a few seconds ago. I guess he's just
Fast as fuck, boy.
On the way to do that, I get Bill Ronte the things he needs to kick his addiction. Getting the NCR to stand down is as simple as talking to them, and, as if by magic, they all just nope out of existence as soon as the objective is complete. The same thing happens to the King's fabulous head of hair. Anyways, I level up, increasing repair, sneak, and guns, go to Goodsprings to take a Meeting People magazine from a trailer, and use it to convince Jacob Hoff to beat his chem addiction like a man, and Ralph to give me his, craft.
What I'm referring to is passports. If you've got the caps, I can whip up a strip passport which will fool even the most well-trained eye. Here you go.
Giving the good news about the addicts to Julie levels me up once more, where I get sneak to 70, repair to 35, and the professional perk, increasing sneak attack damage with pistols by 25%. I also help Julie with her supply problems, donate some chems to her, sell things to her, and huddle up with the other doctors in our safety corner. I haven't crossed off any real targets on my hit list yet, so I intend to change that now. After pulling the old stealth boy, steal it all, hide it in a dumpster, I accept a job as a security guard, get equipped some combat armor but immediately take it off, and let the interior redecorator do his job. I then make sure Simon never says anything ever again, partake in Gloria's flesh, take all the dead Van Graff's things and put them in the dumpster as well, and kill the bootlicker who decides it's worth dying for $7.25 an hour. With my business in Freeside concluded for now, I use the fake passport to get onto the strip, take Sarah's snow globe for myself, and, because the Silence 22 pistol is a holdout weapon, smuggle it into the Ultralux to cross off another 3 targets on my list.
Ironic.
Doing this also lets me complete the side quest Feeble Will for some extra EXP.
If he ain't chiseling behind your back, he just sends his men ready for a fight. Then you either sell your ranch for a penny, or you're dead. I'm tired of being trampled over, kid, and I got a good mind to stop Heck once and for all. Ha 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 ha! Yee-haw!
I then get a bit of revenge on the Ben Man and eat him like extra rare steak before heading to the NCR embassy to start their questline. Why, you may ask? Don't worry, it'll make sense later. On the way to the first objective, I meet George, the boomer who's not really part of the boomers, and then power through the artillery barrage with my healthy supply of doctor's bags and stim packs. As for helping the boomers, I can use fixing things to learn about the courier's totally canon past, today's physician to provide free medical care, my hands to deliver Mr. Teddy to Lindsay, and a lot of patience to walk over to the array and kill the ants nesting there. This part is kind of annoying, as you have to keep walking around and letting the ants spawn in one by one, but they don't inflict much damage and have little health, so I manage just fine. I also listen to Pete's story and then head on to Helios 1 to salvage some solar panels, but not before having an enlightening chat with Fantastic.
They asked me how well I understood suckling teats. I said I had a theoretical degree in naked women. They said, "Go fuck yourself!"
Oh, and I get the comprehension perk. Fixing the array goes off without a hitch, getting me idolized by the boomers, and now I'm tasked with raising a bomber from the bottom of a lake. But before that, I go to a follower's outpost where I come across a ghoul who has been hitting the hull's extra strength.
You're always welcome among the followers, friend.
Attaching the ballast is as easy as ever. I use Loyal's detonator to raise it up, which doesn't inflict damage so it doesn't fail the challenge, and head back to Ambassador Crocker, who tasks me with stopping the violence in Freeside. You see, this is why I went for the NCR questline at first. To my knowledge, it's the only way to use the King's favor to end the violence in Freeside. So not only will the followers be providing medical care and the King's guarding and organizing the region, it won't have to worry about petty squabbles any longer. Doing it this way also gives me more money and official access to Hoover Dam, in which I can get another snow globe and, holy fuck, that's a lot of ammo from Quartermaster Barden. I then head back to the boomers to give Raquel the news about the ants, which I forgot to do earlier, pass a guns check with the teacher, and heal the last medical patient. Sure, it may be too late to get extra reputation with them, but EXP is still EXP. Fun fact, you can get Vicky and Vance's SMG as soon as you want, no quest required. I'm just gonna sell it anyway, but I thought it was worth pointing out. After getting a stealth boy from a big blue scam artist, I kill some bighorners for EXP and level up, getting speech to 60 and the fight the power perk for hopefully very obvious reasons. Aside from killing a few mantises, the trek to Jacobstown is rather uneventful, so I take the snow globe and get out of there. I never actually bothered to look around the Lucky 38 for loot, but you can get a boatload of chems, ammo, cigarettes, and drinks here for free. Nice thing to note for future playthroughs. After Howard Hughes, Walt Disney, Andrew Ryan upgrades his real dolls, I find the final snow globe, trading them in to the tune of 14,000 caps, break into his control room, and upon seeing how he's been keeping this miracle life-extending technology to himself, decide he definitely deserves to be on my hit list and gun him down. Tastes like beef jerky. I then install Yes Man, which levels me up, getting my speech to 70 and my sneak to 90, and head to Gamora to put an end to their
hive of scum and villainy.
I think you all know how this goes. Pickpocket Caccino, blackmail him with his journal, convince Troik to blow up the guns, put the sick fuck Clandon out of everyone's collective misery, and finally, murder and consume Big Sal, Nero, and Caccino. If you've ever done the quest Bye Bye Love, you know that Caccino isn't much better than the other two. And the icing on the top of the cake is, after donating some more chems to Julie, I become idolized by the followers, not only fulfilling one part of the challenge, not only letting me be a follower myself, but giving me access to their safe house where I can get some sweet stuff to sell. Now, with all the money I could ask for, I get the luck, subdermal armor, endurance, intelligence, and agility implants. It brings me down to around 4,000 caps, sure, but I can sell all the Van Graff stuff and all the stuff from the safe house to basically earn it all back. Before dealing with the Great Khans and Brotherhood, I feel like crossing the second-to-last target off my hit list, and, to that end, I talk to Cass in the Mojave Outpost, who tells me to work for the Crimson Caravan Company. Oh, I'll work for them, alright. But since I'm a glutton for EXP with no attention span, I get Jack's little romance over with in the middle of delivering the invoice to Hildren, with my high speech skill making it a breeze. Speaking of speech, I used just that to convince Cass to sell her caravan and come with me as a companion, where I set her to passive and tell her to use melee just on the off chance I have to kill something before she gets a chance to damage it. Traveling to the Crimson Caravan, I sell Cass's caravan to Alice, and oddly enough, neither of the two have any reaction to being right next to each other as this is going on. Cass then wants me to check out her destroyed caravans, and since I already discovered them all earlier, all it takes is a little fast traveling to come to the conclusion that, shocker, greedy bastards are greedy bastards. I already took care of the Van Graffs, so a bit of... and... Later, Cass gets her fair share of revenge, and I level up, getting Sneak to 100 and the Finesse perk. There's only 2 more factions to wrap up before the final battle, so I make tracks to the Great Khans, sending Cook into a cow-induced homicidal rage in the process. Once I get there, I steal Carl's journal. I could have just passed the speech check, but I wanted to do this the sneaky way since it seemed more fitting. I then listen to Jerry's edgy emo poetry.
This is a poem I wrote about the dark loneliness that suffuses my soul.
Steal some turbo because
drugs are bad, you shouldn't do drugs.
Convince Jack to go against the Legion.
Dude, what a total haul. No way that's Kopashishi.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Get Jerry enrolled into the followers, and head over to Melissa to convince her to go against the Legion as well. On the way to Melissa, I end up fighting a bunch of giant rad scorpions, and here you can see how the Silence 22 pistol falls off against armored targets. Since there are no armor-piercing 22 rounds, you're gonna have to rely on crits to take down these kinds of opponents. Circling around, I then have to fight a group of... Cazadors? What is it with me and taking unnecessarily dangerous routes? The bonus limb damage of the Silence 22 comes in clutch, as I'm easily able to cripple their wings, leaving them defenseless. I then have to fight 2 Deathclaw. Okay, just kill me already. I then have to sneak past 2 Deathclaws before meeting the Kiwi lass herself.
Awaiting a delivery, but it's a no-show. I'm guessing that the Deathclaws in the quarry have something to do with that.
And telling her that the Legion don't accept women into their ranks, to which she agrees to go against them. Lastly, there's Regis, who wants me to find a Legion slave ledger for him. Nothing much happens on the way to Cottonwood Cove, so I'll take the liberty of speeding it up for you.
Stop right there, criminal scum!
I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone at the fort by first taking the ledger in question, and then 404ing a few robots, to fulfill Caesar's life dream of feeling the ground shake.
I felt the ground shake a while ago. I'll take that as a sign you've got the job done.
He doesn't get much time to enjoy this dream, however, as, after telling him about the boomers, he gets a headache and goes to sleep, where I promptly use Milsurp Review, True Police Stories, and a stealth boy to cure his brain tumor. Oddly enough, assassinating the leader of their entire empire only makes me a merciful thug with the Legion, although they all still try to kill me on sight. I then enjoy a nice Caesar salad for lunch, which finishes off everyone on my hit list, sneak out of the fort using another stealth boy to do so, and since the Legion at Cottonwood Cove are too far away, I can fast travel to Red Rock Canyon no problem. With the Great Khans wrapped up, my gun skill at 80, and the better criticals perk, the last faction I have to deal with is the Brotherhood of Steel. To make a long story short, yes, I did think that I could sneak up on you, and no, I'm not a filthy powder ganger. I then use my speech skill to convince the Elder that what I did was a good idea, take his keycard, take Hardin's keycard, take Taggart's keycard, pop a stealth boy, and make the Brotherhood the subject of the next Indiana Jones movie. So that's it then, right? All the factions are dealt with, the Securitron army is active, we can go beat the game now, right? Well, there is still a minor issue. See, my back has been killing me lately. I first go to Usanagi's clinic to get the strength implant, and while it does help a bit, I'm gonna need something a bit more thorough. To that end, I shove my face into a weird-looking satellite, and when I wake up, I am face to face with a bunch of floating brains yapping at me for what seems like hours.
Third was the spine.
Okay, that's not what I had in mind. Now on a quest to get my spine back, I test my 22 on some lobotomites, which goes fairly well due to their lack of armor, level up, getting guns to 100 in the light touch perk, obtain the X2 antenna, and... Okay, I'ma be real with you, Chief. This DLC is basically just a whole lot of... So I'm not going to go over it in depth. Just know that I completed the stealth test by killing all the robots and not even wearing the stealth suit somehow, got through the Cyberdog test easily enough, got the Center of Mass perk because, well, you know, killed Gabe, and had to stop by the sink to buy 22 ammo and stim packs a lot. And I mean a lot. Trust me, you don't want to know what it was like having to kill up to 4 heavily armored Robo-Scorpions at once with a pistol that feels like it breaks after 50 shots and only does good damage on a crit. You don't. Since I neglected to get the force field destroying upgrade for the sonic emitter, I have to kill the giant Robo-Scorpion the hard way. I say hard, but all I really did was huff every drug in my inventory, pop a stealth boy, and mag dump the sucker until it... letting me grab quite a fitting perk, Living Anatomy. Also, fun fact, if you kill Dr. Mobius before he detects you, he won't summon more Robo-Scorpions into the room. I then grab my brain, lobotomize the rest of the think tank for stealing my spine, quickly grab the medical data, and go back to the auto dock to fix my back once and for all. Ah, that feels much better. Now, back to the Mojave. I don't have enough reputation to save the president, so I just fast travel to El Dorito, use a stealth boy to power the substation, enlist the followers' aid in stabilizing Freeside after the war, buy more stim packs from Julian Usanagi, and begin the Battle of Hoover Dam, which goes... well, I'll just show you. I got my speech to 80 as a failsafe for the Legate, as I wasn't sure I would be able to take him down or not. Therefore, I could always just use a Meeting People magazine along with Comprehension to skip the fight. As it turns out, those worries were irrational, as my Silence 22 pistol combined with literally every consumable in my inventory allows me to euthanize the monster of the East before he even realizes I exist. I then do the same to his guards. General Oliver says every swear word in the English language, and despite standing right in front of me, his rangers fail to notice I exist as well, so I gun them down with the help of my robot army, finishing the game and proving that, yes, you can beat Fallout New Vegas with only the Silence 22 pistol. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss more content from me in the future. If you didn't enjoy the video, leave a dislike and give constructive criticism so I can improve. If you really liked the video, consider donating to my Patreon. It's $5 a month, which is around 17 cents a day. If you donate, you get your name at the end of each video, I'll have to respond to any comments you leave on my Patreon, and any video suggestions you give me are much more likely to become a reality. Even if you don't donate, I still read all your video ideas and put them at the end of each video, so make sure to leave them in the comments. Check out my Discord if you want to hang out and chat, or check out my Reddit page if you're thirsty for more content. Or check out my second channel, The Loophole, where I post memes, clips, experiments, and anything else that doesn't fit on my main channel. This is Causal Loop, signing off. Peace.